I know a lot of people with this, you might be a little challenged because now we're doing subdivision, and it seems like I threw you off when we cut up the beats, right? Okay, so I will re-teach that again, maybe in a different way. Let's see if you could get it then. Yeah. Why don't you guys come forward? Why are you so far away? There's so many spaces in there. Come. Don't be antisocial. Come on. There's lots of space in the front, right here. Oh my gosh, really? Come. Arturo. Yeah, he's really in the back. To go step by step on how to attack this rhythm, okay? So the very first thing you do is you make marks with your pencil on the beats that you do. So over here, we know that this has 4 beats a measure. I'm going to label each note and what beat does it start on. Okay? So starting with this note. This is the very first note. What beat number is that? 1. Yeah, that's pretty easy, right?
Put it at the bottom.
At bottom, yeah. That's a good idea. Okay, 1. And right now, quarter note equals 1 beat. Right? So, given that, what beat number is this? 2. Starts on 2. Okay, with me so far? Right? Since this is only an 8th note, it will only cover the first half of 2. Agree? It will not cover all of beat 2. Right? So, what beat number is this?
And.
The and of 2. Okay? With me so far? Any questions so far? Okay. How about this? Where does this land? 3. Exactly. Again, because it's an 8th note, it only covers the first half of 3. Right? Given that, what beat number does this note start on? The and of 3. With me so far? Right? Now, this is a quarter note. A quarter note lasts 1 beat. Right? Now, if this quarter note would have start on 3, whatever's after it will start on 4. Make sense? But it's not. The quarter note starts on the end of 3, not 3. Okay? So whatever this note will land, it must be what? Again? The end of 4. I will put 4 right here and the end of 4 right there. Okay? Because this takes up an entire beat, if I put a box around it like this, is that right? No. Because that's only half of a beat. It's not a full beat. A full beat would take the number 4 with it too. Now that's a full beat. Did that confuse anybody? Okay, remember my rules, right? Not about the cell phone, but that too. But be honest with me. It's not fair to me that you do not get it. You don't speak up. Speak up now. Yes.
Last week, that quarter note, you changed it to 2/8 notes in the box. Make it easier.
Right. Exactly. You could picture it with 2/8 notes because 2/8 notes equal 1/4. So, of course, join them together, right? Tie them together equals 1/4. So yeah, this would cover and this would cover 4, right? You could take a look at it that way. You know, that's how you fool your brain and say, oh yeah, that's right. Okay. So, the way you will wrap this is like this. Hopefully, I will even insert the and over here. Does everybody understand why I put it right there, just to be consistent? Right? So that every beat, number, or syllable is represented. Right? This starts on 1. It takes all of 1 full 1 beat. Right? So this is how you sing it. Now, before I do that, watch for this. That is a tie, right? That is a tied note. So you start on the and, but you do not re-trigger. You do not re-sing this on 3 because it's tied over here. You just sing whatever's next. Okay? That's what the purpose of tie. A tie is like addition. You're adding it to it. Okay? So this is how you sing it. Michelle, can you count for me?
Okay. With the ands?
Yeah, with the ands, yes.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and
Come,
1 and 2
Lord
and 3 and
Jesus,
4 and
come.
1 and 2 and 3.
Like that. Do it a little slower, half the speed.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and
Come,
1 and 2
Lord
and 3 and
Jesus,
4 and
come.
1 and
Etc., etc. Okay? And I know you cannot voice out the counting at the same time you're going to recite the words, right? You've got to count in your head. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? That's the last step, but at the very first you could voice the counting. You could count with your voice and tap with your hand. That's the very first thing. So you go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Did you see how I did that? Okay. At the very first, just to let you know when to start. Just tap. Okay. One more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Any questions on that?
So the ands are in between the tabs.
Yes. Well, the ands happen to be. Some of the ands are not in between the taps. This one, I tapped that one because there's a note right above there, right? Oops. Okay.
Ands are between the one, well, 1 and 2.
Yes, exactly. That's what you count, right? What I'm tapping are the notes.
No.
I'm not tapping the numbers or exercising like that. I was tapping the notes. right? Your tapping acts like when you're really singing already, when to start singing, okay? I'll do it again, even slower. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1.
Tapping the notes.
Yes, tapping the notes, right. Once you get the rhythm, okay, once you get the rhythm, you'll know when you get it when you have a decent speed that you're counting on. For example, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and once you could do that, it's like, oh, okay, I could switch now. I'll count in my head, and I'm now going to pronounce the words. So in my head, I'm going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Come, Lord Jesus, come. Okay, I was counting in my head. Or you could tap with your foot. That's the numbers. And. Come, Lord Jesus, come. That's how it goes. Any questions so far? Yes, Cornell.
I think the reason why you put N after come is because in your head you made that quarter note as 2/8 notes.
Yes, exactly right. Yes. Yes. It's a rule of thumb, at least a basic rule of thumb, that whatever your smallest value notes, in this case, what is the smallest, or I should say, what is the shortest value that you see in the entire page there? What kind of note? Eighth notes, right? So you should count considering eighth notes. If you are let's pretend that there's no eighth notes there. The smallest note that appears in the page are quarter notes. Are you going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and? No, not necessary, right? All you need to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Because the quarter notes take up those numbers anyway. Why would you go any shorter? Once you see eighth notes, then you convert your counting to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that you could easily slot the eighth notes into place. Even if this is a quarter note, you don't need to put this and in there, right? Just 1 and 2 or 1, 2. You know, I didn't have to put the and there, but to be very consistent, I put it there anyways because we're going to be dealing with a lot of eighth notes anyway. Okay? You understand the logic there? Okay. Going on over here, it's tied to here. This starts on beat 1. And how many beats does a half note get? 2. So it also covers 2. Notice I didn't put 2 underneath here because what belongs here? 3. Okay, I'll draw. Never mind. And the next one, what is this anyway? Quarter rest. And it also lands. It lands on what beat number? 4. There's your 4 beats, right? Now, you started this note on the end of 4 on the previous measure, right? And you do not re-sing when it comes to here and here because they are tied together. So you don't go come, come. No, you don't do that, right? You add them together, and a big clue is this word come goes all the way here, doesn't it? You see that underline? That means you sustain it for that long. You start here, and you just keep holding it until you rest on beat 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, come. Then you stop. That's what it means. Okay, those are the tides. Moving on, what beat number is this? 1. What beat number is this? 2. This. And this. 3. This. And this. And of 4. Oops. There you go. I'm going to put the 4 in between here. So, doesn't that look familiar? It's exactly the way it is here. Right? From the beginning of the measure up to here is exactly the same. Okay? Exactly the same. So I'm going to draw a box around here just to, okay, start on and. So, you sing it this time. Come and fill my heart. How are you going to sing that? Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm going to really slow it down. I'm going to slow it down. Oops. Not fair. I didn't put the and in there. Duh. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That was better. That was good. I'm going to do boxes around come. Is 1 and when I say 2, you and. And when I say and, after 2, you're going to do fill. You're not going to say anything on 3. You just do that. When I say the end of 3, you do my. Let me take this off now. My. And then when I say the end of 4, heart. Everybody understand? Okay, do it now with confidence. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Exactly. Exactly. That's how you do it. One more time, just a slightly faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. Okay? Be careful. Again. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Good. Let's go on to here. What beat number is this? 1. This, the little segment right here, that means it's a continuation over here. It's tied. So heart, notice under this note there is no word. Right? Because you added this note to that one. Okay, so you don't sing, you don't re-trigger anything, you just continue singing heart, and then start on what beat number is this? The and of, oh,